Hello everyone and welcome to the YouTube channel of Get Set Law by IMS. I'm your mentor Sanjana Chauhan and today we shall be discussing the second passage of the English language section of CLAT 2023, right? So the first passage video is already there, so you can, view it for more insights. Now we shall take a look at the next passage. So start reading it now. Until the Kiladi site was discovered, archaeologists by and large believed that the Gangetic plains in the north urbanized significantly earlier than Tamil Nadu. Historians have often claimed that large-scale town life in India first developed in the greater Magad region of the Gangetic basin, right? So this is just a claim that the large-scale town life in India first emerged in the greater Magad region of the Gangetic basin. Now, this was during the second urbanization phase. The first urbanization phase refers to the rise of the Harappan or the Indus Valley civilization. Tamil Nadu, in fact, was then thought to have been urbanized at this scale only by the 3rd century BCE, which is like much after the development up north, right? So the findings at Kiladi, however, push that date back significantly. Right? So it did not really develop so much later, but much earlier than that. And this is, backed by the findings at Kiladi push. This is what the passage says so far. Based on linguistics and continuity in cultural legacies, connections between the Indus Valley civilization or IVC and old Tamil traditions have long been suggested. However, and this is potent, do you see the use of the transitional word but? But concrete archaeological evidence remained absent. So certain suggestions have been made that there are some connections existing between, Tamil Nadu traditions, old Tamil traditions, and the Indus Valley civilization. But there is a lack of concrete archaeological evidence pointing to that. Evidence indicated similarities between graffiti found in Kiladi and symbols associated with the IVC. It bolstered the arguments of dissidents from the dominant North Indian imagination who have argued for years that their ancestors existed contemporaneously with the IVC. Now, later when you read the passage, it says, all the archaeologists I spoke to said it was too soon to make definitive links between the Kiladi site and the IVC. There is no doubt, however, that the discovery at Kiladi has changed the paradigm, right? In recent years, the results of any new research on early India have invited keen political interest because proponents of Hindu nationalism support the notion of Vedic culture as fundamental to the origins of Indian civilization. The Kiladi excavations further challenge the idea of a single fountainhead of Indian life, right? They indicate the possibility. Next statement now is an elaboration on the previous statement. They indicate the possibility that the earliest identity that can recognizably be considered Indian might not really have originated in North India. Now, this is not a statement that is set in stone. It's just a possibility. It's just a speculation, okay? That wasn't all. Further, in subsequent seasons of the Kiladi dig, archaeologists discovered that Tamil, which is a variant of the Brahmi script used for writing inscriptions in the early iterations of the Tamil language, could be dated back to the 6th century BCE, likely 100 years before previously thought. Note how I said that the civilization did not develop in, Tamil Nadu later, but much earlier than that. And that much earlier here refers to a gap of 100 years, right? 100 years before than was previously thought. So not only had urban life thrived in Tamil lands, but people who lived there had developed their own script as well. Now, the evolution of writing is attributed to Ashoka's edicts, but 2600 years ago, writing was prevalent in Kiladi as well. A proud Madurai local told the author. A farmer could write his own name on a pot he owned. The fight going on here is you are not the one to teach me to write. I have learnt it myself. So this is all that the passage is about. Part descriptive, part informative, and some bit of analysis is also given. Because the author is also arriving at speculations based on the evidences that the Kiladi dig has put forward so far, right? Having said that, now let's take a look at the first question for this passage. The first question says, what was the assumption about the origin of urban life in India before the Kiladi Day? The correct option for this question will be option A. The origins lay in the northern Gangetic Plains, which urbanized earlier than the south. This is a fairly simple question on assumptions, which otherwise is thought to be a very difficult topic here. So our learning from this question is that sometimes certain options or answers can be derived from information rendered in the passage as well. Option A is also clearly mentioned in the very beginning of the passage, right? So this then becomes a very simple question to solve, right? Through selection itself, we will know that A is likely to be the correct option. Option B says the Indus Valley civilization was the first urban civilization of India. This is not an assumption. It's stated as a fact in the passage, okay? So we will eliminate option B. Option C says the second urbanization was known to be in the Magadh Empire. And again, we can eliminate this. Correct option will be option A. Take a look at the next question. The Kiladi excavations further challenge the idea of a single fountainhead of Indian life. And once we locate the statement in the passage, there are a lot of different information and evidences rendered which elaborate on the statement, which shows that no, there was no one single fountainhead of Indian life, but it emerged in other parts of India as well, and probably down south somewhere along in Tamil Nadu. So in elaboration of this sentence, which of these options follows? The correct option here will be option C. Look at option A. It says dominant theories of how urban and modern life came about in India, in ancient India, were proved wrong. Note how the passage does suggest that still there is no concrete archaeological evidence. So simply saying that these theories were proved wrong will make the option a tad bit too extreme. So we can eliminate option A. Option B says, neither the IVC nor the ancient urban civilization of Magadh are clear explanations of how urban life emerged in the Kiladi region of southern India in the 3rd century BCE. We'll hold this option for the time being. We'll look at option C as well. The Kiladi archaeological dip proved that Indian urban and modern life emerged independently in several historical periods and geographies, and no one theory is enough to explain it. When you locate the statement in the passage, a couple of statements are given after this statement. And they simply show that no, there was no one single fountainhead of Indian life. It emerged in different areas, primarily Tamil Nadu as well. And later on, more evidence is rendered to support this information. And therefore, C is a much stronger and more potent option than option B. Therefore, the correct option will be option C. Note that it's possible that two options can be close, and it's also possible that both the options can be correct in light of the passage given. However, we always are supposed to choose the option which directly addresses the argument in the question, which answers the requirement of the question, and which is more substantial and comprehensive in nature. Now, let's take a look at the next question. Language, including a script similar to the Brahmi script, emerged in Kiladi in the 6th century BCE. Which of the following is the most convincing conclusion from this statement? The correct option here will be option C. Option C says, ancient urban history of India, as we know it today, could significantly be altered by the findings of the advances achieved by the Kiladi civilization. Now, this seems to be a very balanced option. It is neither very extreme nor too specific, right? So, C is the correct option here. This is all that we can make from the information mentioned in the question. Why we are going to eliminate option A is because it says Kiladi is a center of culture and learning far superior to any others in ancient India. Sometimes it's also helpful to eliminate all the wrong option choices as well, right? To just be able to have a smaller pool of options to choose from. So, the fact that it is far superior is not mentioned, hence option A is out. And if option A is out, we can never choose option D, which is all of the above. Why option B is to be eliminated is because it says people of Kiladi were illiterate and could not use language to inscribe on the pots and pans, when information exactly opposite this is mentioned in the last paragraph of this passage, right? Where a farmer does say, right, that he knows how to write. Okay, so B is also out. Correct information and correct option is option C. So sometimes do not get overwhelmed if an option seems very wordy. If an option is framed in a very florid or bombastic manner, simply choose to eliminate the really bad options, okay? Now we'll take a look at the next question. BCE is the acronym for, and we know the correct option will be before the common era, also sometimes referred to as before current era. Now, this is not really something that can be gauged, in the context of the passage. We might rely on some background knowledge, is what my suggestion on this particular question is. All right. So, next question now. A farmer could write his own name on a pot he owned. This is actually taken from the last excerpt that's given in the passage, right? The fight going on here is, you are not the one to teach me to write. I have learned it myself. What does these sentences imply? Clearly, the correct option for this question will be option B. That the Kiladi civilization did not conserve the access to education and literacy only for the elite. Now, you might ask, how can we choose option B and why are the rest of the options incorrect? Look at option A. That the Kiladi civilization was an inegalitarian one. Egalitarian refers to equality, and therefore inegalitarian is opposite that. And equality and all of that is not mentioned in the passage, hence A is out. C says that the farmers of the Kiladi civilization were also potters. Now, this option actually goes off the tangent. It has no relation to the information in the question whatsoever. So, option C is out. That being so, we can never choose option D because it says all of the above when two have already been marked as incorrect, right? And therefore, the correct option will become option B, right? So, this passage was quite simple. Sometimes the options were quite wordy, but through elimination, most of the questions can be solved correctly. Hope you understood the discussion properly. I hope you are able to internalize the learnings. Any doubts, any further input that you'd like to provide are very much appreciated. You can put them in the comment section and stay tuned for the next video.